I quote, "At the dawn of history, India started on her unending quest, and trackless centuries are filled with her striving and the grandeur of her successes and her failures. Through good and ill fortune alike, she has never lost sight of that quest or forgotten the ideals which gave her strength." Unquote. Today, on the 74th anniversary of the day we gained independence, we, the children of Good Shepherd School, commemorate 74 glorious years of Indian independence. I, TSS Srija of 10th Standard, take immense pleasure to welcome you all on this day of pride and honor. This gathering, in a virtual form, signifies the inevitability and the importance of this grand day.
Indeed, no crisis can keep us away from expressing our allegiance to the nation. Freedom has never come from the government. It has always come from the subjects of it. The history of freedom is a history of resistance. This freedom has come at the cost of the blood, sweat, and tears of the people in the past who have fought for our freedom. This freedom is something that no one can take away from us. So, let us celebrate this freedom with zealous lines in Hindi.
बात ये हवाओं को बताए रखना, जहां रोशन होगा दिया जलाए रखना। की है हिफाजत लहू देकर हमने, की है हिफाजत लहू देकर हमने, मन में सदा उस तिरंगे को बसाए रखना। जश्न-ए-आज़ादी मुबारक हो।
Truly, every year this auspicious day fills us with tenderness and a feeling of commitment, affection, and dignity towards our nation. Speaking of which, our tricolored national flag depicts strength and courage, peace and truth, faith and prosperity, respectively. We now have our honorable chief guest, His Lordship Right Reverend Vincent Tynt, the Bishop of Bagdogra Diocese and the President of our school. We request Bishop Vincent Tynt to start the day with the flag hoisting ceremony, while I request each one of you to salute the flag, expressing our respect and veneration towards our motherland.
Keeping the sacrifices of our ancestors in mind, We should take an oath to sincerely perform our duty and carve a better future for our motherland. Next up, we have the March Past, presented by each house, along with our esteemed school band, together to make the music sound complete and to pay their deepest tribute. Truly, France's life teaches that peace requires an enduring determination. Here comes the Francis House, marching forward to spread the message of peace. Peace within oneself, peace in the country, and peace in the entire world, thus justifying their motto, to be an icon of peace. Together, all can help us understand France's singular desire to follow in the footsteps of our Lord Jesus Christ. House of Gandhi marching forward with a target to know the way, go the way, and show the way. They inspire others to excel more, to learn more, to do more, and to become more, showing the signs of being a leading light. The joy of being loved and the joy of loving. Now comes the Teresa House, filled with emotions of pride, love, and honor for the country as well as its subjects. When we stop giving, we stop loving. When we stop loving, we stop growing. And unless we grow, we will never attain personal fulfillment. We will never open out to receive the life of God. Their quality of feeding just one, if unable to feed 100, keeps up their aim to love and serve. If every one of us follow this advice, we can definitely feed the world. Kalam House marching forward to bring into light the powerful combination of dreams and dedication. They symbolize the dream, which is not what we see in the sleep, but which does not let us sleep, inspiring us to give wings to our dreams. So dream, dream and dream, and always remember one thing: you have to dream, then only your dreams will come true. देश से है प्यार तो हर पल ये कहना चाहिए, मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारत ये रहना चाहिए. Now hold your breath for a captivating performance by the students of 10th standard.
देश से है प्यार तो हर पल ये कहना चाहिए, मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारत ये रहना चाहिए. सिलसिला ये बात मेरे यूं ही चलना चाहिए, मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारत ये रहना चाहिए. मेरी नस नस तार कर दो और बना दो एक सितार, राग भारत मुझ पे छेड़ो, झंझनाओ बार बार. देश से ये प्रेम आँखों से छलकना चाहिए, मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारत ये रहना चाहिए।
Friends, don't you feel the turbulence around here? Well, I sure do. The heartbeats are rising up, and everyone is eager to sink into the depths of the patriotic music. Next up, we have is a patriotic song, a song which inspires the feelings of pride for one's nation, a song which boosts our morale in times of crisis and rekindles our pride in who we are. So now, I call upon the singers of Good Shepherd School, Bagdogra.
तलवारों पे सरवार दिया, अंगारों में जिसने जलाया है, तब जाके कही हमने सर पे ये केसरी रंग सजाया है। है मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सौ दर्द से है, महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे न रहे। है मेरी ज़मीं महबूब मेरी, तेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बहे, फीका न पड़े कभी रंग तेरा जिस्मों से निकल के खून करे।
That was indeed an enthralling song, raising our patriotic feelings. I now request our honorable chief guest to address the audience.
Wish you one and all, at the very outset, a very happy Independence Day of India. My dear fellow citizens, young and old, Reverend Sister Principal, Sister Sensei, all the sisters, the teaching staff, non-teaching staff, and my dear children. It is a wonderful thing. Today we celebrate this Independence Day, remembering how in 1947, after a long struggle, after many sacrifices, lot of bloodshed, as well as non-violent means, our forefathers achieved this wonderful gift for us of freedom, where we could breathe freely, we could move about freely, where we could have our own government. And we have been enjoying this freedom for the last 74 years. There has been a change of placement of number. In 1947, we achieved and celebrated the first Independence Day, and 74 years later today, on the 75th year or 75th Independence Day, it is worth recalling what our forefathers have given us. They gave us not only this freedom to breathe, to live in, but they also made sure to give us a wonderful constitution. The Constitution of India enshrines very many good rights to freedom, freedom of speech, freedom to lead a life worthy of a human being. And they also made sure that there are 4 pillars to safeguard this hard-earned freedom. And those 4 pillars are the executive, the Constitution itself, the court, the legal system, and the media. And these 4 pillars have truly safeguarded our freedom, even from within our own country, from our lawlessness, from any deficiencies, from any deviations. And they have truly made it sure that our freedom, so hard earned, is safeguarded, and it really assures an opportunity, an equal right to every citizen. But on this day, as 75th Independence Day, it may be worth looking back. And it is worth noting also the fact that these last 2 years, we have been passing through very tough time, thanks to this pandemic called COVID-19, and so many successive lockdowns. We have experienced something we had never before. Today, we celebrate this 75th Independence Day once again in that constrained atmosphere of a lockdown, of this pandemic still being around. This pandemic gives us an opportunity to evaluate our freedom of the last 74 years. This pandemic has proved to quite an extent that whatever we have achieved, be it in science or technology or in military power or in our education, to quite an extent have failed. This pandemic has brought us down to our knees not only our country, India, in fact, the entire world, the big leaders, the superpowers, the scientific developments, the medical advancement, everything seems to have come to null and void before this pandemic. We have realized how vulnerable we are, how weak before it, and therefore we can say that our achievements are nothing before this power called COVID-19. And this invites us, and especially my dear young citizens, the youngest ones in the school, and all those who are growing now. As you look forward to your life, I think it is time to realize that our ancestors, our own parents, our guardians, our teachers, our elders have not really successfully achieved much because we were not prepared for this pandemic called COVID-19. It has proved many of us a failure. And therefore, the challenge before you, young citizens in the formation, that as you grow to be a citizen of India, you grow in good knowledge, you look for some new ways and means of preparing not only you yourself as an individual, but to prepare a new society, a new civilization where there will be more guarantee for our safety, for the primary requirement of a life, right to life itself. This pandemic has threatened. May you, in your learning, advance in such a way that you make sure that we are not at our knees, not on our knees next time, be it another pandemic, be it any other kind of calamity. In what way, my dear students, you could contribute to this country of ours? That would be a wonderful dream, a wonderful ambition. So see in what way you can grow better. So your contribution is awaited much. The future of India depends on you, my dear students. You have seen for yourself the inconveniences, the inefficiency of our system, and some of the things that we were taught before, they have become in a way relatively irrelevant. You were told not to bring, for instance, your mobile, your smartphone in your pockets, in your school bag to the school. And today, you have to depend on smartphone. You have to depend on online classes. And our teachers did not know as to how to make best use of our modern gadgets for learning and to teach. And yet today, situation has demanded that they too update themselves. These are the changing signs of the time, and you, my dear young citizens, up to you, we count, and you can make a difference. May you have a new society in India where there will be further assurance of a fundamental right to live in harmony, in equality, with making with one another brotherhood, regardless of our religion, our faith, our allegiance to one ideology or another, how we can be one India, one community, and we can all make this country be proud, how we can lead this country into that kind of a genuine freedom for which the great Maharshi Rabindranath Tagore prayed when he had composed this song and he had sung it. Into that country of freedom, my Lord, let my country awake. I wish one and all every best. Once again, a very happy Independence Day. Bande Mataram.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your inspiring address and valuable message. Coming up, we have a graceful fusion dance by the students bringing together a variety of regional dances with a twist clearly portraying the rich Indian dance forms, keeping in mind the theme We Shall Overcome. Let's invite all of them to dance for our glorious nation.
ऐ वतन मेरे वतन ऐ वतन आबाद रहे तू आबाद रहे तू
आयो रे शुभ दिन आयो रे आयो रे शुभ दिन आयो रे
तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू मैं जहाँ रहूं जहाँ मैं याद रहे तू ऐ वतन मेरे वतन है वतन मेरे वतन
What an enthralling performance! मुझे ना तन चाहिए ना धन चाहिए, बस अमन से भरा यह वतन चाहिए। जब तक जिंदा हूँ समात्र भूमि के लिए, और जब मरूं तो तिरंगा कफन चाहिए। Those difficult times and struggles must not be allowed to fade away from our memories. Hence, every Independence Day, we not only celebrate our freedom, but also pay tribute to the ones who held a vision for our country and to the ones who sacrificed themselves for the same. Today, our heart is full of patriotism, and to express it in few words, I would like to invite Chirag Krishna of 10th Standard.
Today, we all are here to acknowledge our privilege of being born in a free India and celebrate the 74th Independence Day of our country. We need to ask those born before 1947 to know the pangs of anguish of being enslaved under a colonial rule. For every Indian in those days, it was indeed a Herculean task to raise voice and fight against those powerful giants, the Britishers. Those difficult times and struggles must not be allowed to fade from our memories. Hence, every Independence Day, we not only celebrate our freedom, but we also pay tribute to the ones who fought for it, who held a vision for our nation, and those who sacrificed their lives for the cause. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Freedom is never dear at any price. It is the breath of life. What would a man not pay for living?" Indeed, innumerable soldiers and citizens of India paid that price. They toiled, endured the pain and sorrow, and many even made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. It is because of them that India stands tall today with a head held high. 74 years ago, India took baby steps to become one of the largest democracies in the world, overcoming a plethora of challenges to earn global recognition. India has come a long way since its independence, leaving behind a string of landmarks that define its journey from the agony of partition to a strong, powerful, and developing nation. In its 74 years of independence, India has several achievements to its credit. It has built a modern economy, remained a democracy, lifted millions out of poverty, set a strong and capable military, and has made remarkable progress in the fields of science, space, nuclear power, sports, arts, technology, etc. Yet, there is much more left to be achieved in order to make India into the nation which our predecessors dreamt of. For that, we need to accept the challenge of the future, strive incessantly, and stand united. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Chirag. In spite of the diversities in our country, we live together, share our feelings with each other. We help each other in distress, and we stand together as one in need. This is real India. You know what? Nowadays, we see patriotism is not only inherited by adults, but also the little ones. Kids are truly filled with this pious feeling, that is patriotism. And that is one of the finest qualities found in children, and it is an exhilarating one. Now, the students of class 2 are going to present a spellbinding poem, My India. तो चलिए इस खूबसूरत कविता द्वारा देशभक्ति आत्मसार करते हैं।
My India, it is not the orange, white and green of the color, or the Parsis, or the Malayalis, or Bengalis that make India, India for me.
It is not the elephant, or the peacock, or the Himalayas, or the Ganga, or the latitudes and the longitudes that make India, India for me.
It is not Mahatma Gandhi or Indo-Soviet culture or multi-channel TV and computers in our schools that make India, India for me.
It's a feeling I can touch, I can smell, I can taste. It's a feeling I belong that makes India, India for me.
It is the feeling I belong to the educated, unemployed, who can starve while they learn of obesity and famine of culture and destruction of science and serenity.
Your Excellency, Right Reverend Vincent Aind, the Bishop of Bagdogra Diocese and the President of Good Shepherd School, my dear teachers, non-teaching staff, parents, guardians, and my loving students. With the proud feelings of being a citizen of India, I would like to wish each one of you a very happy Independence Day as we observe a respectful commemoration of one of the most significant events of our nation. On this gracious occasion, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to His Excellency, Right Reverend Vincent Aindt, for gracing the occasion and inspiring us with his words of wisdom, blended with the true spirit of patriotism. Dear Reverend Bishop, I appreciate your love for our motherland and your sincere commitment and goodwill towards the well-being of every citizen. I also wish to thank and congratulate my dear students for their wonderful performance and the teachers who have worked hard to make this day a great experience. Dear students, the great selfless freedom fighters of our nation under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi won freedom from the British colonial rule in the year 1947 after many decades of struggle. Our motherland was set free to have our own constitution, to elect our own leaders, and to live with dignity and honor, having our own unique identity. 74 years have passed in our journey of liberation. Millions have sacrificed much in developing our country to what we are today. Today, it is left to you and to me to take our country towards the fullness of freedom. We need to rise high to that freedom where we will begin to consider each person as our brother and sister, irrespective of the God we worship, the religious traditions we observe, the language we speak, the culture we belong to, or our geographical confines. If Gandhiji obtained freedom with the weapon of non-violence, we need to bring that freedom to perfection with the weapon of education. Educating oneself and contributing to educate the other. Our education should lead us to become spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, and physically fit to awaken our country into that heaven of freedom, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, as Rabindranath Tagore prayed. Dear children, as you prepare yourselves to be the future leaders of our nation, let the thousands of people who have sacrificed the comforts of their lives for the sake of the society be your role models. We have a number of them in the freedom fighters, in corona warriors, in those who tirelessly work for the upliftment of the poor and the marginalized, in the promoters of peace, in those who work to strengthen the unity of the nation, and so on. May our united efforts take us towards the fullness of freedom. May God Almighty protect us from the insecurities and fears of the pandemic and other calamities, leading us to a safe shore, blessing us with the fullness of life, fullness of freedom. God bless you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sister, for inducing the patriotic feelings in our audience. Challenges are what makes life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes them meaningful. Hence, on this 74th Independence Day, let us take a pledge that we, the people in India, will overcome all the adversities and work hard towards the progress of our motherland to keep up her name and fame in the world. Oh, what a day it was! Independence Day could not have been spent better. अनेकता में एकता ही हमारी शान है, इसलिए मेरा भारत महान है. जय हिंद, जय भारत.